It's time to break down the biggest stories of the day. This is the top 3 stories of the day on KSLSports.com. On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jacob Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Tim Lacombe, nice enough to spend the 2 o'clock hour with me today. It's time to get into the top 3 stories of the day at KSLSports.com, brought to you by J. Brooks Jewelers. Cherish your love with J. Brooks Jewelers. Explore their expertly crafted engagement rings made from the finest materials. J. Brooks Jewelers. All right, Christian, where do you want to start today?
Number 1, tonight is the night everybody's been waiting for. Darryn Peterson versus AJ Dybantsa in the Summer League.
Great start to your career here with what you did in the Salt Lake City Summer League. You know, next up, Vegas. Number 1 versus number 2. you knew I had to ask about it.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you're a guy who obviously has a lot of confidence and a lot of pride.
No pride.
No, you've got some pride.
Pride's
not a bad thing. Pride's not a bad thing.
We can use that. I say more confident. I wouldn't say pride. I don't got no pride.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of confidence. You felt like you should have been the number 1 overall pick in the draft. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, I think a lot of us did.
I think at least 3 did.
At least three or 4 was there. Yeah,
3 or 4. That's fair. Anything extra about your Vegas debut against AJ?
Nah, not really. I just want to go out there and try to help the team win. That's the biggest thing for me, just trying to win.
You've already coached him up.
I say this. You can go through all the times people ask about AJ. That's serious.
He said this yesterday. He doesn't ask me for advice.
That was Will Hardy there at the end, and they were on the Hoop Collective podcast with Tim McMahon.
Well, I just love that Utah Jazz guy. I mean, make the trip out and spend the time. And Darryn, I just love, he pushed back. I don't got no pride. I ain't prideful. I'm confident, but I'm not prideful.
Well, and there is a difference, by the way.
There is a big difference.
Yeah, there is a difference.
There's a big difference. I did see tonight that, and we talked about this a little bit, the advantage that Darryn has is he had 2 games under his belt with this group. In this scheme, what they're trying to do. Whereas in AJ's situation, he's coming out very first time. I mean, Darryn knows where his shots are going to come from. He started off, so his first 2 Summer League games, 53 points and 14 assists. It is markedly better than anybody in the last decade in their first 2 Summer League games. And again, I don't want to stack the deck against this kid and make him something he's not. But in comparison, a guy like Donovan Mitchell, his first 2 games, he scored 42 points. Averaged 21 a game, 3.5 assists. Not only do you have 26.5 points, which is, elite, but then you've got 7 assists per game. And it's just, both of those numbers in comparison to everybody the last 10 years has been really, that's on the top.
Could I tell you what I didn't like about that clip?
Yeah.
So when he came on with us after the draft, what was his line that PK got? PK asked a question. He got a great line from Darryn Peterson about the chip on his shoulder, right?
Yeah, he basically said something to the effect that not only just the team that took him, I'm going to let them know, but everybody else.
I'm super excited to get there, and it'll definitely keep this chip on my shoulder throughout my whole career, and I'll take it out on everybody, not just that guy in particular.
Something like that. Like that.
So I love that. Everybody did, right? Everybody listening to that thought, okay, all right, I see where he's coming from. He's going to go take it out on everybody. Then we hear that Hoop Collective thing where he just is. You coaches and the PR department over there has gotten to him.
Yeah,
they gave us a real bland, phony. Not phony. I shouldn't say that. That's too strong. But real bland. Politically correct. I just want to help the team win. They've gotten to him. Instead of coming out and saying, yeah, I'm going to go take it to AJ tonight. Just watch. Tune in. Because I'm going to go dump 30 on these guys. Instead of the kind of chip on the shoulder. It's like, oh, I'm just there to help the team win. Don't listen to him, Darryn.
Just here to help where I can.
Don't do it. Don't continue to give great answers. Don't get muffled by the coaches and the PR staff.
The PR training must have come this week.
No, don't listen.
Set them up front. Now, one thing you don't want to say is you're coming after something.
Yes, don't listen to that stuff.
The first game's tipped in Vegas. Atlanta and San Antonio is going.
There's another one, too, that's going at the same time.
Oh, yeah, and the Cox.
The Timberwolves and the Pelicans. So, hot and I mean it because it's got to be hot in Vegas, Summer League action.
We used to go down, and this was the time we recruited, the July period in Vegas. You're down there for 2 weeks, so 14 days just locked up in Vegas. And the gyms are 60 degrees, and it's 120 outside. So you got to take a coat, and you got to take a towel for your steering wheel. There's a lot of preparation.
Well, you got to get a bunch of people in town in the off season somehow.
That's right, man. They do it, man. They do it, and they do it upright.
So that game tips off, by the way, in Vegas at 7 o'clock. Is it on? I think it's on ESPN, right? Let me look. Yeah, it's on.
Big Daddy.
It's on the ESPN.
I'm taking that one in tonight, boys. That will be. I'll be feasting on that one live.
All right. What's next?
Number 2, you guys just got back from Big 12 Media Days. You guys got to talk to everybody from Utah yesterday. One of the big emphases seemed to be that Utah is going to be less about protecting the defense and more about being one as a team. This is Mark Harlan.
I think the one thing that I've really enjoyed is, and it's true, I don't think this is any secret, there's been kind of a defensive-offensive approach at Utah for a long time, and to watch the team all come together under some of the leadership training that Morgan's doing for all of them and, kind of being one a little bit more than we've been, I think will be really helpful in certain situations as we move forward.
I thought Mark Harlan did a pretty good job of selling the direction of Utah yesterday.
I did too.
Because they've had a controversial offseason. And listen, I haven't been on board with everything. I still don't know if this Otro Capital thing is the way to go. But I do think in his – first of all, it was good that he was there. And he was spearheading the effort of selling the strength, the message of Utah. And I thought he did a good job. We'll see what happens. But he's had a wild offseason. I mean – off-season, it's not like he's playing, but a wild few months. They're going through a huge transition up there in a lot of different ways, and I do think he did a good job selling the athletic department as a whole yesterday.
Yeah, I do too, and honestly cleared up a few things for me. The money that Otro's putting out there is certainly not going to be a free-for-all and people just throwing money all over the place. The majority of that money in the beginning is going to just be set up to help set up operational things that will then hopefully in time be able to churn cash, on the positive side. And so that was definitely a positive to me. I feel like, everybody's trying to take a different tack to try to make this happen. And I was one that was a little nervous up front. I probably still a little nervous because you're giving up so much of the brand. But the way he described it, yeah, he sold it good.
And then I re-listened to the Brian Santiago interview that we did the day before. And listen, I like that Brian Santiago was going to answer questions, and he does it well.
Love you, B.
I even thought he answered my question about why, what's stopping everything from getting solved. I thought that was actually a pretty good answer, where he basically said, well, there's a lot of schools out there that like having the edge, and they're not going to comply with anything, basically long and short of it. But I thought Tom Holmoe was always willing to answer questions. He just didn't make himself available all that often. So the fact that Brian Santiago, B, as you call him, was down there and available, I thought was great. I think the more these athletic directors can get out in front of everything, answer questions, and sell their athletic departments, the better. So I thought both athletic directors actually did a pretty good job of doing just that.
First time I've ever met Mark was yesterday, so that was good for me. And then I've known Brian forever, and I actually told Brian after our interview as he was walking away, I just said,
love you, B.
I love the fact that people get to see you now. This is the guy that, Tom was the figurehead and Brian was kind of the engine. And, every time you saw Brian, he's not selling you, but he's encouraged. He's always encouraged. And I just like the fact that now he's out in front of that mic. And as you said, he's not afraid of it. And he'll get out there and speak about things. So I'm glad that people are getting to see the Brian Santiago that I worked alongside with for 12 years.
Well, things are going well in the BYU athletic department.
Very well.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got things in a great spot down there.
Christian?
Number 3, hold that trade, Mr. Silver. There is an ongoing investigation.
So the NBA apparently informed the Raptors that they are putting this trade on hold. Here's kind of the meat of the report here, Tim. We have since been informed that the trade can only be finalized if the Raptors ownership group assumes the risk of penalties related to Kawhi's contract that could theoretically result from the ongoing investigation. The investigation is ongoing, and we expect the trade to be finalized following its conclusion.
So I would imagine part of the fear is you give up a bunch of capital, you get Kawhi to come over, and they tell you he's suspended for a year. I think they want to work out all of the ins and outs so that Toronto knows exactly what they're up against.
Or void the contract. You
Right.
make a trade for this contract, and then they just void it, which has been rumored to be part of the punishment. I was surprised by this in a sense that I assumed that the NBA was going to try to quiet it all down and then come out with some sort of like, we took care of it. Get Kawhi out of LA. Everybody's moved on. And then come out with, well, we're slapping everybody out on the wrist, but you don't care anyway because he's totally on a different team. And so by doing this, it surprised me a little bit. But it's only fair to Toronto, in all honesty.
Yeah, you have to take care of them. I mean, they're obviously not at fault here. It was LA that was trying to circumvent the salary cap, which to me is a way bigger issue if you're talking about integrity than perhaps tanking. So it's something that they've got to deal with. And I don't think it's something you can deal with quietly. I think it's something that everybody else is going to have to see what goes down. They fined the Jazz $500,000 publicly, like real publicly. Made a big stink about it.
And then didn't find anybody for the rest of the year.
Which is what is, I want to make sure we repeat it, because the day it happened, that's why I listened to Jake Scott and have for 10 years before I even started working here. You called that. You said this is their way of saying, okay, here's the shot across the bow. Everybody else do what you got to do, but through the end of the year, Utah's getting the punishment.
Good times.
You were right.
$500,000. And,
doesn't grow on trees.
And they got to make make an example of somebody.
Yeah.
Not the other teams that are tanked.
Adam Silver's he's not one of our favorite guys. I don't think. I think you feel the same. I think there's just a lot of things that happen, and you kind of scratch your head as to why.
I don't think he's done a great job. I don't think he's done a great job, certainly as of late. I don't like he's proactive, but the things that he does are not great. I don't like his mix. I don't like his solution to tanking. I don't like the play-in. The in-season tournament I find okay because it's just inconsequential and it's in an inconsequential time, so might as well try and spice it up, I guess. But I don't know. I haven't loved the way he's operated.
The only thing I like about the in-season tournament is you get guys to play harder than the regular season for about 4 nights.
Yep.
And we see it. They play harder.
And the way he operated during COVID was, honestly, I think the bubble was a little extreme, but he got it done.
But that's always going to be an asterisk, right?
Yeah, but in an environment where nobody was getting anything done, the NBA did lead the way. And, again, took it a little bit to the extreme. But
so dystopian to think about.
At least they got it done.
You and I was sitting in that arena by ourselves.
Yep.
Wearing masks. 1,500 people allowed in. And we'd sneak in from time to time and look down. But it was like something you've never, ever seen before and hope never see again.
Remember Donovan Mitchell's mysterious recording that leaked out of the bubble?
Yes.
Controversial.
Very controversial.
Controversial. Who was it that snuck out for to go to Magic City in Atlanta? Oh, yeah, it was Lou Williams.
He was always slick on the court and off.
Oh, I can't imagine living under those constraints. I'm sure it was just maddening.
Yeah, I am glad that's in the rearview mirror, boys.
You know they named that chicken wing flavor after him?
Did they?
Yeah, the Lou Will lemon pepper.
Well, I can't imagine honestly the attention they got from that story alone. I'm sure it's made him a fortune.
That is awesome. I again, it's a time of history that those of you didn't have to deal with it, be grateful. But David Locke, one of the greatest times ever. Disney on Ice is going on in the building. And we're sitting in our studio. David's out in the main foyer of the studio, he and Ron, and they're calling the game. And you can hear all of the music leaking into the broadcast.
All the Disney.
A whole new world. Yeah, it was all going on. I'm telling you, you could write a book about all that.
That wasn't David's favorite period of time.
Oh, he was so mad because he couldn't travel. And he's stuck in there. And so that night, he just he used Disney Disney descriptors.
Puns? I don't know if you want to. Yeah.
Dirty crab.
Didn't like Sebastian. We'll have more coming up next. Stay tuned. Tim hanging out with us in the 2 o'clock hour, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Overwhelmed? That was me with diabetes. Hey, I'm Jabron. Between teaching and coaching, managing diabetes felt like an extra job. With the Freestyle Libre 3 CGM, I get real-time glucose readings and have the insights to make informed decisions. My life feels lighter now. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
The views expressed should not be used for medical diagnosis or treatment as a substitute for professional medical advice. Individual circumstances may vary. For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.